So, on the year we are going in America, Rasta, I mean, apart from all the things that we are going on the year we are going, on the year we are going, and so whole heap of things are going in America, you know. Finally, the thing with Trump look like it done, you know, because Trump, main ambition was to carry him case to the Supreme Court. Because, you know, so most of the judge them on the Supreme Court is Republican, and him select them, including the woman where them select a couple of days before the election. And him think say, him rush that because him feel say, in anything will happen like this, him would have draw for them. And him go through all of these things and him lose all of the things them. And the one thing now him a depend upon was the Supreme Court. And today the Supreme Court, they said, or yesterday, the Supreme Court said, watch a man, this, you can't do that, you can't. Them don't ever write a long letter to him, just one little thing to tell him, say, no, this done. So I don't know where I'm going to know because knowing him, you know, him have other things in him head and him thoughts. And him main lawyer have COVID and all. Why, it's a terrible thing. As I say 3 weeks now, America look like a third world country to me. Yeah, man, America look like a third world country right now. Why? I don't know how long it's going to take for it resolve itself. But it better resolve. Yes, and we are heal up all my brethren them and sisters them in America. Who I wonder if them for come a yard or not. It's Jackass in the world no live. Jackass in the world no live, you know. Believe you me. We're going to see what going to happen, though. We're going to see what going to happen. Because you see all of the vaccine gone out there now and all these things. Serious things, serious times. This is the cutting edge. We're there with you next Wednesday. You're listening to Dakora and Black Rasta out of Ghana. Talking about the time of return. Ghana, that is. Ghana is in the news now. There's a ball out only after the election. Ball out said the election rig. Well, I tell you that disease I go around. It's a disease I go in a Venezuela too. In a Venezuela, them don't say election rig, them just say the one who Maduro, the man who run against him decides him now run. And then them say, boy, him never have no contest. But you have other people in there who are run against him still. But the interesting thing about Ghana is really strange, you know. Them it's not a country where usually ball out about rigged election. But now we are here to the election rig. Them want a whole heap of things happen. Well, we're going to see what happens still because it's a different time we are living here right now, trust me. I don't know how the year are done, why the year come like it are done quick though. But think I'm not glad? You think I'm not glad that the year are done quick? The year are done quick. 2020, go. I tell you, it come away. 2020 come away, man. I hope that 2020 don't come out the place, you know. Trust me, I hope that 2020 don't come out the place. We will never live to see another 2020, none away. We'll never, nobody on the earth right now will ever live to see another 2020. It's a weird year, man. Very weird. But we are all it. Because we name African people, Jamaican people, all over the place. We are all it. Yes, we are all it. You know, we have talked about my old-time teacher today, Marcus Garvey Jr., who passed away at 90-year-old. 90-year-old in passed away, so we often talk to Mandingo. You know, our brethren always call me from England. Me and him used to go to Kingston Technical, and him share the same brethren and teacher friend like Marcus Garvey, like me. And I rep him. We're there with you. I don't know if you know, but I want to tell you again that the eldest son of Marcus Garvey, the greatest black man who ever walked the earth, his first son, Marcus Garvey Jr. passed away this week at the age of 90-year-old. 90-year-old. He was really out. When I say out, I mean him have what them call it, dementia. Him couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair the last time I see him in Florida. And he moved to Florida years now, and he is here. And that is where him died. We know we have a brethren here who him voice become very familiar upon the program. Him always call from England. This time is we call him. And the reason why we call him is because we and him share the same school and the same person, teacher. Even though we wasn't in the same class, but Marcus Garvey Jr. was an engineer, scientist, a mathematician, and a black power advocate, walking in the footsteps of his father. So why you look Mandingo? Il Mandingo.
Il Muta.
Why, the first time I call you know, you always call me call you. Eh?
Yes, first time in all these years. Yes, true.
Yeah, well, you know, this is so important to us that we didn't have to make the link, you know. I know you never called still, but...
Yes, I would have called anyhow, yes.
Of course, but we choose to call anything. All right. So, Mutabarka and Mandingo were Kingston Technical. We, as youth, we see all these people around we, man like Laxley Comrie, you know, Marcus Garvey Jr., and we make it so insightful is that Marcus Garvey Jr. was not only we know that he was the son of Marcus Garvey, but he was very politically motivated and inclined to actually want to take over the country, like his father formed the organization, the PPP. Him had the same ambition. What do you say about that?
That is totally true. Because Marcus Garvey, the father, formed in 1929 the People's Political Party, which was the first political party in the Caribbean. And it was designed to take political control of Jamaica for and in the interest of the African majority population of Jamaica. Likewise, his son, Marcus Garvey Jr., who was my physics teacher at Kingston Technical High School in the 60s, formed in 1968, when I was at Kingston Technical as his student, the African Nationalist Union, which was a continuation of the People's Political Party, but with a different name, African Nationalist Union. And we had a newspaper known as the Black Man. And it was that newspaper that I wrote my first political article in, which was published in, called African Unity in the Caribbean.
And that was the first magazine that I was published as a poet.
Yes, you will remember some time ago, I actually phoned you and actually read that poem. That was
yeah, but you never give me the poem. You should have WhatsApp me the poem, fax me the poem, email me the poem.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, because all the editions of the Black Man newspaper, I have all the editions.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I was, from those days, as a leading member of the African Nationalist Union Party, Marcus Garvey Jr. and I and Harold Smith, Stocky from York Street, Franklin Town, and Byron Perkis, who has passed away recently, used to go out on Saturdays and sell the Black Man paper in St. Catherine and Clarendon and elsewhere. And there's also Gregory Chin, who used to go with him out by St. Thomas and so on to sell the paper. So we were intimately involved. And of course, Laxi Comrie, who was also a Kingston technical man before our time, was also a member of the party and wrote for the Black Man paper also.
Yeah, and I remember that Wildman Street was a busy place with politically motivated radicals. You know, Success Club.
Yes.
And the one down below above East Queen Street, the name Maiden Lane there, Wildman Street and Maiden and you know, Wildman Street and
East Queen Street.
East Queen Street, Wildman Street and East Queen Street, yeah.
Yes, on the left-hand side, there was a trade union place.
Ah, yes. I'll remember there. My boy from up at university with the Workers' Party used to keep meeting up the top. Trevor Monroe and the man that used to go up there, have meeting and
yes. It was a trade union place. As a matter of fact, in 1968, October, in the aftermath of the Walter Rodney demonstrations, protests, not riots, protests about the banning by Hugh Lawson Shearer of the GP, you know, his regime. Marcus Garvey, that was the first time that I heard Marcus Garvey Jr. speak publicly, politically. Other than then, it was in class where he was teaching myself and others, you know, physics. But one night, in the wake of the demonstrations, Marcus Garvey Jr. spoke. He was upstairs too, in the auditorium of that trade union place on the left-hand side.
Wildman Street, East Queen Street.
Wildman Street. And I'm telling you, amazing speaker, eloquent, just like his father, you know.
Yeah.
You know, yes. And then, of course, on Sundays, we had a meeting place for the African Nationalist Union Party, which was directly opposite Jamaica Success Club, called
that's where I used to go.
Cooperative Hall.
That's where I used to go.
Yes, the Mutual Cooperative Hall, opposite Jamaica Success Club. Jamaica Success Club is beside Big Yard. Big Yard is 61 Wildman Street. Jamaica Success Club is 63. And opposite it, the Mutual Cooperative Hall, which incidentally was burnt down because of the anti-black power.
Anti-black
we had
meeting,
it as a meeting place. After some time, it was burnt down, Arson, and we know it was due to the reactionary forces in Jamaica from PMP and GLP who were against.
And as youth school youth and think them say who was very motivated by the movement, the Black Power movement at that time there.
Yes, because we were inspired as youths by people like Stokely Carmichael, lately
Malcolm
known afterwards as Kwame Ture, and Rap Brown, who popularized, Stokely Carmichael popularized
Black Panther Party and them thing there.
You know, and Rap Brown with Burn Baby Burn, you know, with the rebellions in Detroit and all over the states and so on.
And the revolution will not be televised by Gil Scott.
The last poet.
Yes. All right, so tell me something now. In them time, I don't know if they did there when the Garvey them, the headmaster was banning, taking off the red, black, and green button them off for the student them. They did it at that time there?
I don't recall that. I know the headmaster was Mr. Roper, E.G.
I can tell you what happened. Marcus Garvey Jr. have some little red, black, and green button where music get out and we wear them and them thing there.
Yes, that we wear, yes.
And Mr. Roper tell us we can't wear the button in the school. And Garvey walk around the school and take off every button off for everybody. Every button. So them pin the button for my files. I did tell a story today too. Them pin the button for my files. And I want to tell you something now. That was like when I was a teenager, right? When the button up on my file. And last year, IRFM give me an award. And the principal of Kingston Technical come on the stage. The same button where it pin on my file, the principal take the button and give me it. Because he didn't know of the incident. And I say, you mean say after 50 odd years, we get this button again. So it was really amazing to me to see that happen after 50 odd years. We get back the button with them pin on my file. And it never brushed. It never keep me from getting job. It never keep me from progressing when I progress. And Mr. Roper actually...
But it was on your file.
Yeah, and Mr. Roper after a while, when most of them call them to see me as a weird person. When them say, I start to garner popularity amongst the culture Jamaican thing, them call me and give me an award of waterfalls. Mr. Roper them carry me. And I say, look at that. Stone that the builder refused. Because Mr. Aaron. Iron, sorry, not Aaron.
Aaron. Mr. Stanley Aaron. Yes.
Yeah, not Stanley Aaron. Irons.
Oh, Keith Irons, the math
Irons
teacher.
ate me like a dose of poison. He ate me because the woman who made that talk when they like her off and he couldn't get her. He couldn't get her.
Well, you know the thing with Keith Irons, the math teacher, he never liked me either, you know. 2 reasons. Because he knew that Marcus Garvey Jr. and I were very close friends.
Yes.
And he never liked Marcus Garvey Jr. He was jealous of Marcus Garvey Jr. And any male student who was popular with the girls, he disliked them because he was a girl's man. So I was popular with girls. Byron Perkins was popular with the girls. And any
but
male
student,
student,
watch out. You see the girl when me and I did a move, who got married to another place. We show the man wicked, you know.
Yes, I remember exactly.
She named Marilyn. You see,
yes,
true, the man knows me ever go out a weekend time. The man give me all 100 maths problem for doing a rasta. And when we come Monday morning, I'm not do it, the man give me detention the whole week. The whole week, I have detention. He make me not do well while I left school, you know, I tell you. I asked me while I left school. Trust me, man. Dangerous.
Yeah, he was, Keith Irons was really like that, you know.
And then watch out now. Watch out now. Him love the girls because him start deal with one of the student them, you know. And you know, years after, my daughter come to me and say she take private lesson class. I say, which part you take the private lesson? She say, up at Irons Yard. I say, you there for Irons Yard?
So you know the danger.
I tell you. We say, Irons Yard, you don't have private lesson. But if it got too old for that,
what you do?
What
you do?
No, if it's too old for that. If it's too old for that, man. I don't remember much. Him dead a couple of years ago. And he's kind of very old. I should have about that.
Well, I'm telling you, if it was when he was in his prime.
Yeah, man.
Because from a girl pretty.
Yeah.
that was Keith Irons, man. And he used to wear these tight pants.
And white socks.
Yes, and like cock up him leg on the table to display.
With him bulge.
to display his arsenal.
I tell you.
Anyway,
we could go back to Marcus, you know. All right.
Yes.
Marcus Garvey Jr.
By the way, you see that button thing? It might have been in your final year, you know, 71. That happened with the room.
I'm a final year, man. I'm a final year.
Yeah, the final year. Because my final year was 1970. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you left before me.
I was 1 year ahead of you.
Yeah. All right. Marcus Garvey Jr. as a political entity in Jamaica, you think, say, he will have enough, in Ghana, enough people behind him for really be a force to be reckoned with?
I'm going to tell you the total truth, as usual, where that is concerned. In the time of his father, the reason why the People's Political Party never won wasn't because the majority of Africans in Jamaica never wanted to vote for it, but because of British racism, there wasn't universal adult suffrage. So the majority of people, our people in Jamaica, did not have the vote until 1944, 4 years after Marcus passed away on the 10th of June, 1940. Marcus Garvey Jr. told me that when he decided to form the party, the African Nationalist Union, with Brother Cyril Stewart and others and myself and so on, came on board and so, that we had universal adult suffrage, and he said, the only time he ever voted in Jamaica in his life was in the run-up to so-called independence in 1962, when he voted for the People's Political Party by lawyer, Pan-Africanist Millard Johnson.
Millard Johnson, yes.
Yes. That was and as a matter of fact, one Sunday Millard Johnson came with his wife. I think she was from Tanzania at one of the meetings too. And he said that was the only time he voted in an election in Jamaica, because PNP and GLP are opposite sides of the same kind, as he said. Both of them are European inspired and work for the Europeans and so on. And what happened in 1962 was that PNP and GLP combined to destroy the People's Political Party in terms of false propaganda and violence. When Marcus Garvey Jr. formed the African Nationalist Union in 1968 to continue that struggle, he came under the same pressures whereby PMP and GLP, that's Hugh Shearer for the GLP, Michael Manley for the PMP, combined against him as Bustamante and Norman Manley, the cousins, had combined against Marcus Garvey and others like that, because they did not want any black power, any African power party in Jamaica. So, as usual, them shelf them differences because both of them are the same neo-colonial parties.
Yes.
And there was a demonstration where out by Spanish Town Road, out by 3 Mile, that Marcus Garvey was leading the demonstration. And he was arrested. And the police officer who was in charge, his name was Stevenson, was in charge of Harman Barracks, what we call Harman, broke them up. We used to wear them blue overall jumpsuit, paramilitary police. They didn't. One of the Harman Barracks police was about to beat Marcus Garvey Jr., with a baton. And Stevenson told the police guy, don't hit him. Not that they never wanted Marcus Garvey Jr. to be beaten, but they realized Stevenson knew the political bombshell to hear that the son of Marcus Garvey, Jamaica's first national hero, was beaten by the police. Couldn't afford that. But what they did, other members of the party were beaten mercilessly. And Marcus Garvey Jr. was arrested and taken to Matilda's Corner police station right beside Campion College. Campion College, where I used to go to with Alan School and others, just before I came to Kingston Technical. He was taken there, and his mother, Amy Jakes Garvey, was worried because she never knew. She heard her son was arrested and never knew where he was. And eventually, she and Marcus Garvey Jr., good friend, lawyer friend, Seymour Stewart, found out that he was at Matilda's Corner police station in the cell. And that's where they went, and then, he was
released.
He was released and so on. So what happened is that Marcus, we tried our best, but the PNP and the GLP always combined to fight.
Well, I want to tell you, say, implant a seed in a technical level. Implant a seed that will grow up on mushroom, man.
Which is why you and I and others are still here today doing the work that we are doing. And as we are speaking, Courtney Ladley, who was one of our Black Power people from those times at Technical, is listening.
Oh, yeah?
Brother Gregory Chin from East Kingston.
You call up everybody, man.
West Avenue is listening.
You call up everybody.
Brother Ralph Smith, Stucky from York Street, and others are listening.
Oh, God.
Because I made them aware that I would be speaking tonight.
Yes,
so it goes to show that the seed that Marcus Garvey and his son Marcus Garvey Jr. planted bear fruit, because we are here still in the struggle. And I just called some of the names of our people from Kingston Technical: Courtney Ladley, Harold Smith, Stucky Savage from York Street, Franklin Town, Gregory Chin, and others. If Byron Perkins were alive, he would be listening, and there are others too. And I also have to talk about Cherry Richards from Fairfield Road, Ma Sammy Richards' daughter, Fairfield Road, Spanish Town, off St. John's Road, because the shop was one that when we used to sell the magazine, we used to go around by Fairfield Road and sell the magazine around there too. That's how she got to know them. And there's a brethren named Dennis McDonald from St. John's Road, who my parents taught at Friendship Government School, St. John's Road, and others. Who made them know Marcus Garvey Jr., So people are around and alive listening.
Yeah, all right. I can say something which is not a private thing, because everybody know. Marcus Garvey used to deal with this daughter in a technical way, right? And she eventually become him lifelong partner. She up to this day, she is the wife of Marcus Garvey Jr. You remember her name?
There's a clarification and correction on that, because I heard you and Jerry talking earlier today.
Oh yeah?
It's actually two wives Marcus Garvey had from Kingston Technical High School.
All right. Well.
Not one. And the correction is this. The first wife, who you really mean to be talking about, I think her name was clear. I'm looking up at her right now. They were married in Jamaica, and they had a son named Sekou, after Sekou Toure, the president of Guinea. He was born in Jamaica. And then, when he went to the States, when he migrated to the States about 1974, they had a daughter. And sadly, that daughter died as a result of medical negligence by a Muslim doctor. And Marcus, to the very end, Marcus spoke to me and others who were close to him about that. It really pained him how his daughter, who was born in the States, in New York City, died as a result of...
So it's not the daughter in a technical
and for people
marital.
Want to get the full thing, listen to him on YouTube, Dr. Marcus Garvey Jr. and the Arab slave trade. And he goes into detail about that.
No, when I ask you, it's not the daughter where we know in a technical is married to.
No, that was the first one. The
present
one
to her.
was married to for about 30 odd years. Her name is Jean.
Yeah. No, when we want to ascertain is that was she the sister in a technical when we know? If it's she been married to?
No, she wasn't the one. No, she wasn't the one.
So which one was the first one?
The first one is the one I am telling you about. Who was a technical in our time.
No, that may ask you, man.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
No, wait there. Don't curve the ball for me.
No,
I tell you. All right, wait there. A daughter we used to go technical. Marcus Garvey never married to her.
Yes.
You know that me I say? Marcus Garvey didn't marry to her daughter in a technical.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is his current wife, who was married to for about 30 odd years.
Yes.
Also went to Kingston Technical, but before us. And he got married to her after he and that wife that we knew.
Okay, so the two daughters go to Kingston Technical.
Exactly. That's why I say two Kingston Technical wives.
Because when I see her up in Florida, she said, if me remember her, I said, no, I remember. She said she used to go Kingston Technical.
Yeah. Her name, the one that you saw, her name is Jean.
Okay.
And she's from Wellington town.
Yes,
originally.
Yeah. Okay.
Jean.
Yeah. All right.
And as a matter of fact, it was actually Laxley Comrie who introduced them to each other. Yes. I'm talking the last wife, Jean. It was Laxley Comrie.
Yeah. I see that. All right.
Yes.
Him go Florida. I know he didn't contact with him at Florida because only one time I ever see him at Florida. And the only reason why I come at the show is because them tell him me I go there. So him take the opportunity to come in a wheelchair and Ray and all them something. All right.
Because he had the Alzheimer's disease by then, you know.
So how long him there in Florida before him start to develop them sickness there?
Well, I tell you something. When he went to the States about 74, 75, he was in New York. He was in New York City, and he lectured at City College, which is University of New York. He lectured in physics and so, and he did another master's in physics and did a master's in electrical engineering and so on. And he also lived in Teaneck in Massachusetts, because I visited him in the 80s in Teaneck, Massachusetts. And then he worked with a big defense company after some time. In 1992, a little before 1992, the 500th anniversary of the African Holocaust there, he became the President General of the UNIA and ACL, the 7th President General and so on. And he came to England. I arranged for him to come to England all in 1987, the centenary year of his father and so on. But after a few years in the 1990s, sadly, he found out that Alzheimer's had started gradually. And so he had moved to Florida, and, you know, that's why he had to give up the position as the President General of the organization because of that. So, we are in 2020 now. So, this is a man who fought Alzheimer's for well over 20 odd years.
Yeah. And no fears that we are fighting, man. Plus other things. I know only Alzheimer's, other things too. You know?
Yes, one of the things that he did too was that fortunately he went to Ghana on a trip and made a speech at Cape Coast Castle, you know, and so fulfilling the dream of his father who was prevented from visiting Africa, you know. So he spoke there and, you know, to a great reception in Ghana, and that pleased him very much. And he had told me that what he wanted to do is that he was going to write a book, you know, some books about the political way forward and so on. And in 1992, in 1992, as the President General of the UNIA and ACL, at the convention of the party in Washington, D.C., he published a 20-point policy position for the UNIA and ACL, the black print for our organization, outlining the policies. And one of the things is that the only name to be used for us is African, and in terms of identity, reparations, repatriation, and so on. Right. And he spoke about the need in Africa and in the Caribbean for us to use solar energy as a clean source of energy. And in Africa, to use the wind, the Sahara, you know, we have a lot of wind, as clean sources of energy rather than oil and so on.
Well, I wanted to say,
he was a scientist.
Yeah, the last time I have communication with him is when I hear him say he might come back, come take over the country within politics. But the last, that was a really long time. So when you are telling me about, I wasn't privy to all of that. I was just privy to him and say, why am I come back, come run the country? You know, get out the two dragon them.
True, because he actually wanted to do that, because in 1987 he had publicly proclaimed that he wanted to return to Jamaica to make Jamaica an African republic. And as in the days of the ANU, that Jamaica and the other islands of the Caribbean should be members of the OAU.
Yes.
The only thing that prevented that is the Alzheimer's disease.
But can I tell you why I see him though, which is very important.
Yes.
I see him calculate how much money Britain owe away in response to the £20 million where them give the white people them. Him calculate it in our money and now and show how much money them owe away. Is the first man I see do that. Using maths brains and calculate it.
Muta, you are totally and absolutely right, because he did that more than one time. And I told you that I have all the copies of the magazine.
Yes.
One of the magazines have that calculation in it too.
Yes. You must send me a photocopy of the one with the poem in it.
Yes, I will do that. Of the one with the poem. And what and what he did with the calculation, you know, for what we are to get in terms of reparations, he said he calculated it not at simple interest, but at compound interest.
Yes.
Compound interest, which is much more than simple interest.
All right, we have to move now. We have to move. Give thanks to the thing, give thanks, man.
And I just want to say something finally before I finish then, Muta. I was hearing Jerry Small saying that he was vexed with his father, you know? Marcus wasn't vexed with his father. That is not so. And he spent a lot of time. What happened when they went to England with his mother, the two boys, him and Julius, and the mother, in 1935. He was born 1930, Julius born 1932. The father they lived as a family. His niece, Ruth, Pierre Prescott, who was my good friend too.
Yeah, remember, you never do in the park.
Marcus Garvey's,
not doing the park.
Marcus Garvey's first wife is my mother's cousin. He never had any animosity towards his father.
Doing the park.
Huh?
She used to live right between Yamedale and doing the park.
Yes, same lady at doing the park.
Yeah. Miss Prescott. She have a son named Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie.
Yeah, had a son named Charlie. Her maiden name was Ruth Pierce, married to Prescott, because incidentally, when she found out that Amy Ashwood was my cousin, she hugged me up because her parents and Amy Ashwood were very close. Very, very close, because they took Amy Ashwood's side in the marital thing.
The debacle,
Yes. But Marcus Garvey Jr. had very good feelings towards his father. He never had any animosity or bitterness. There was no so-called separation thing. What happened was that Marcus Garvey, I have to make this straight, Marcus Garvey went on a trip to Canada, and when he came back, Amy Jakes had left for Jamaica with the boys, and he was angry about that.
Okay.
We have to set the record straight.
All right, we have to move.
This is a family thing now.
Yeah, we have to move.
Yes,
indeed. Give thanks, brethren.
Blessed Lord.
Yeah, man.
Every time.
That was Mandingo, a schoolmate of mine in a Kingston, Tanzania. We're just going through Marcus Garvey Jr., who passed away this week, at 90-year-old, mathematician, engineer at his highest level, and Black Power advocate. This is the cutting edge. Icons, so much people who come for sure with the way we still suffer. We look like we are looking for heroes, but the heroes them don't know, We have to become those heroes who we're searching for. Are we this? So if you think, say, you're going to find another Marcus Garvey, you make a sad mistake. There'll be no more Marcus Garvey. And for those of you who are looking for Jesus, there'll be no Jesus coming nowhere to save you from and carry no rapture. You have to understand that. So you have to know, because Rastafari kind of get a kind of strange way to me. Sad to say it. It kind of gets strange to me. Because we realize them use religion to pacify away as rebels, as warriors for revolution, for freedom. And when we did start out as Rastas, that is what we did at search for. Black power, liberation of African people from colonialism and slavery. That is really what the struggle was all about. And in the 60s, when the Black Power movement was rampant in America, led by people like Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, as you man talk about Rap Brown, Eldridge Cleaver, Angela Davis, all of these people was fighting for Black Power. So the man who named Stokely Carmichael, him is the one, him is from Trinidad, him is the one that come up with that Black Power talk, the language of Black Power, because he realized the only thing white people recognize is power. Power is the only thing that them recognize. So in order to understand how the system run, and in order for work out of the system, you would have to have power. And that power should be Black Power. So in America, them have this slogan, Black Power. And it echo and vibrate all over the world. Black Power. It's like how you have All Life Matter now. Black Lives Matter. Well, the Black Power was a similar cry. When you say Black Power cry all over the world amongst black people and say black power. And we as youth in Jamaica who go to school, and here so we go Kingston Technical, we are talking about black power too. Because we was very influenced by the political situation going on in Jamaica. We realized these two political parties was part of the same system that is keeping black people from our power. And even though they was black, but we did call them roast bread fruit because at that time Nyerere, which was one of the blackest prime minister ever sit down as prime minister in Jamaica, was one of the worst one. Because him did ban the book them, and him did ban Rodney, and it's him a whole heap of things him do. So when we look upon that now, we say, how can we as youth recognize the significance of black power? So as youth I go to school and we say, but wait, you have a group named the Rastafari, brethren and sisters in them. Them a search for black power. And when we start to read about all of the man them from them time, then we realize, but wait, it's a black power movement. The only difference, or the big difference between the black power movement amongst Rasta and the black power movements in America was the nucleus. The nucleus. And what was the nucleus? The nucleus was a spirituality that defined it apart from all other black power movement that rise up in America. Because while you have the Black Panther movement, the Black Panther movement was a social order that was dealing with the situation them find themselves in California, and then it spread going to New York, but mostly in Oakland. You did have the head like Elridge Cleaver, and you did have Huey Newton and all them man that did operate from outer Oakland, California. So the Black Power movement was a social thing where it was trying to find order in chaos, where white supremacy and white people was hell-bent and get rid of what them call the 3/5 of human being out of them country. So the Black Power movement did have to rise up as warriors, as soldiers against that system. So it wasn't focused towards Africa, one, and it wasn't focused to a spirituality that connect Africans with Africans, because every African, every nation in Africa have a spiritual consciousness that connect them to the universe and to each other. Even if you see them a fight one another, them have this spiritual consciousness that push them. Now, the Black Power movement in America, when I search, and I talk about the next one now, when I search, I never find that. I never find the spiritual connection when you talk about black power, because what it show you say social and political order is the order. And after that, no, well, you can't figure it out for yourself. So we as youth are run up and down, you know, and do things that was very political and very social. So the Rastafari movement now, in focusing on the Rastafari movement, I realized about this movement is not only a black power movement, but it was spiritually inclined. So the nucleus of it was, or is, the spirituality, and it mushroomed out into what we call searching for black power, related to black power. So when we go on and we realize, say, all right, a black power we are working with, and we're going to join all the 12 tribe move, federation, and federation was supposed to be a political move, because the Ethiopian World Federation was given to really deal with that political agenda for African people. And then we see it switch to the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel, it switched because Brother Gad couldn't get piece of the land. A Shashaman, the same style, say, him will get a piece, another piece of land. And man go to Africa, we go scout out the land and all them, him never get the piece of land. So what happened now is that we as youth was instructed to read the Bible from Genesis 1 to Revelation 22 to find truth for ourselves. And a whole heap of we as youth, when we don't read the Bible, realize, say, watch a man, we don't know Jesus' business, you know. So we take for the Nyerere being gay. we take for the Nyerere. So most of we now start to go Nyerere. And we are chant Nyerere, and I say, boy, right now, the 12 tribe kind of look like pacifists. It's not only pacifist, but it never look Rasta-ish to me. It never look like Rasta, or you perceive or conceive Rasta to be. When you go to the Bingi now, you feel a different vibration. And you feel not only licking down the system and rise up as a powerful black person, but also going into yourself and finding a self that you'd never find when you used to deal with your mother and never find when you used to deal with people out there. You find a different kind of spirituality that really make you feel powerful as a black person. So we start to do the things that will come to way in the revelation of Rastafari, like, for instance, stop eat certain food, stop comb your ear, and just walk a bush, or do certain things natural and all them, something there. Now, why I say that? I realize that Rastafari has developed into a religion that seemed to move away from the core thing of black power. Most Rasta youth know him not talk about black power. He might talk about Jah, Rastafari, and anything we say from can't find still a black power. He might talk about reincarnated Jesus Christ in the Haile Selassie and all them things there. And I find say in doing that it pacify him. So him start to sing song now where it's almost like them apologize for Rastafari in the song them by saying, we are all one and the whole world must come together. It's only black people sing them tune there now. Only black people sing them kind of tune there now. We must come together, unite in a one and thing, a Rastafari. It's not that we're not unite in a one, but we have a work to be done. The work is black power. We must get what we have and what was taken from us. We're talking about Africa for Africans, those at home and those abroad. We're talking about land is the basis of power. If you don't have no land, you don't have no power. We're talking about how we're going to deal with our social order and political energy that's supposed to bring with to our consciousness that say the system where we're in have to go. And we know as African people have to make that happen. And Rastafari who come with that spirit of warrior, of rebel, of consciousness. That is what Rasta supposed to emphasize. Africa for Africans, those at home and those abroad, just like what Marcus Garvey said. We are talking about some different things now. We are talking about how we amalgamate and how we integrate and, move from our core value where we did have, like our PNP, like PNP move from them core value. Now we see Rasta now, he may not with black power again. Because he's not with black power, because if you start talking about black power in front of him, him cringe. Especially if white people or a little white girl sit down beside him. If a little white girl sit down beside him and you just come and start talking about black power, it's like him want to apologize for me. Him apologize to say, boy, right now, I saw him stay, but now watch what I say, them kind of talk, there's madness. It's madness. Oh, you can apologize for the liberation and the freedom where you had searched for in the consciousness of Rastafari. So we have said Rastafari right now need to go forward into him head cup and recognize what was he speaking about, what were we searching for, what was Leonard Howell searching for when he come up with this Haile Selassie. When him come up with Haile Selassie because him say Haile Selassie is the king and we want a king and we must get rid of the king in England out of our head. Because what time them charge Howell for treason, and sedition. Some are afraid now for ball out Haile Selassie You have some people that ball out Jah, and you feel Haile Selassie attack. And Haile Selassie them attack. It's not Haile Selassie them attack. A whole part of them say Jah is not Haile Selassie because Jah in the Bible. Psalm 68 extol him that right up on the win as Jah. So Jah in the Bible. And a man going to take up the Bible now for show you say Haile Selassie in the Bible too. That is what I'm going to tell you now. Say, I see the part fulfilled, just like what I'm tell you now, say Trump in the Bible, just like I'm tell you America in the Bible, every damn thing in the Bible all of a sudden. Because anything mad happen, him start to tell you, say, yeah, the Bible are fulfilled, the Bible are fulfilled. Which part the Bible are fulfilled? A man write that, you know. A man write that. So when a man tell you, say, boy, the Bible are fulfilled where? Everything where you see I go on, so a man cause it. All the problem where you see man have, you know, is man cause the problem. All the things them where happen to man right now is man cause it. And you are, man can solve it. Now the things where happen to black people for 400 years, why we keep trying to invent the wheel? Why is we trying to do the same thing the same way all the while and expect to get a different result? We're not getting no result differently if we don't do a different thing. And we know who say Haile Selassie. We must recognize that Haile Selassie is not no supernatural being. You have to know that. You can't make Haile Selassie less or bigger than what him is. No care how much name you call him, and no care where you put him. Him is Haile Selassie full stop. It now gonna make it a bit more powerful if you say, Jah Almighty High, Rastafari is God Almighty, and everything. That now gonna stop Haile Selassie from being Haile Selassie. Are we, as Rastafari, are we depend upon we are depend upon through the eyes of Haile Selassie. Because now we are create a consciousness that's supposed to liberate we. We are create that consciousness. It's not Haile Selassie are created for we, you know. It's because we are saying Haile Selassie why we realize so we have to create it. You know, see it? It's we are create the consciousness through Haile Selassie. So the Haile Selassie not going to come here now, come save no Rasta. And you can't pray to Haile Selassie to save you, just like how Christians pray to Jesus to save them. Because no, Jesus not save nobody. Haile Selassie not going to save you because you pray to him. A joke business. So we have to recognize now what Rastafari is to we. Still, Rastafari is supposed to liberate we from white supremacy, white domination, and oppression. And we must use with head cup, not with them give away. Because for them things can't free we from for them things. We have to go forward into a head cup. We are into what we call Sankofa. And bring forward what was we all the while. So we don't have to look for no leader. We don't have to look for no prophet. Because we have enough of that for serving 1,000,000 years. And people have less than that and free themselves. And we have so much and can't free ourselves. Because we start to take up alien doctrines, alien ideas and alien thinkings. To fuse it with Leonard Howell and all them man they left us or come give us now. Leonard Howell and all them man they left these things come give it. And we are try water it down with whole heap of rituals, whole heap of religion. Man, I talk about priests and all them something. Well, priests come in a Black Power movement, a spiritual consciousness. Well, priests have to do with it. You know, man, I talk about theology, theocratic government and all them. So, theocratic which government? How theocratic government going to work? You go, who going to rule the man? You think, say, Haile Selassie going to come here to come rule Rasta? It's joke business. It's joke business. We find ourselves in a quagmire of cross between what we call Babylon and what we call liberation. And we take up too much of them things. Every man has seen about every man get up and kneel down and pray. A lie, I tell. That's where them train him to say. A lie him I tell him not get up every man and pray nothing because someone in him gone to him bed. Because I'm there studio, I'm there with some girl or they on road and dance up and down the place and them thing there. I'm telling every day him get up and pray. Like say him some Christian thinking, Christian doctrine, because the Christian didn't say the same thing. Christian talk about him go baptize in the water. When him go down in the water, it's supposed to make him a different person. Lie them I tell. It's lie them I tell. We have to find what is it that the forefathers did say and do and use it for liberate to say, because we're not using it. We're not using the tool that was given to us. We're not using it. We're obviously not using it because the more and more we look, the more we say, the thing I go, there's the thing I go until it just absorb into the system where we are fight against. We are being absorbed. Here Rasta now starts, them a politician and them a PNP, so I say them a GLP. Oh, Rasta become PNP and GLP. Oh, Rasta become that. You have long locks, man, I run down bus and I jump on bus and I have him orange flag and him green flag and I go on like say, I fight you because you know say none of them or because you say one of them. How we reach this so? When we know say all of them people that done persecute Rasta over the years. All of them people that did put Marcus Garvey in a jail. All of them the people that call with dirty nasty Rasta boy, them when have no sense at top, oh man of God and all them something there. And we still not find ourselves. We still not find ourselves. We want the people them wake up. Especially the Rastafari Aboriginal system them to wake up. Wake up. All those who put them faith in a reggae music. Who put them faith in a reggae music must understand say turning the music into some like a religious talk is not going to help with. It's not help with turning the music into some like a religious talk, but like say he might do some hymnal, some church chorus talking. Rasta talk like Christian now. How that work out so? So I see it me there because we can play a song, yeah, we can play a song. This is the cutting edge at IRFM.